Hello, Ravens fans, and welcome to another season preview. I'm Aaron Schneider, the Sports Information Director at Anderson University, and joining us is our tennis coach, Matt Moore. How are you doing today?
Fantastic, Aaron. How are you?
Good. So we're beginning into our spring season. Obviously, we had a pretty strong fall season. Our women went 10-5. They got second in the regular season. They made it to the conference championship match. And then our men had a 7-1 start. Tell us a little bit about how you thought things went for the fall.
I thought we had one of the best fall seasons in quite a while for our program. I mean, our women obviously going 10-4, placing second in conference, leading the conference in first team all selections with 5 players, almost our entire women's roster, and a good 3/4 of our men's roster, earning high GPAs throughout the season to earn some academic distinctions as well. It's just a tremendous opportunity for us, and momentum we hope to be able to carry forward into this semester as well.
Yeah, and then like you said, the women had 5 first team all conference selections, several conference players of the week on both ends as well. So hopefully we can see a little bit of that momentum carry. So now getting into the spring, what are your goals slash expectations for the spring with both programs?
I think to start with, we want to ensure that we're getting back out and we're getting reacclimated to the start of another season. So I mean, we look at this as being a true fresh start. While we have a lot of great momentum that we can carry forward from the fall semester, spring's a completely different ballgame, right? New teams, new competition, men entering into the conference season for the first time. So a lot of new things that we've got to navigate and believe in as well. So I think part of it is getting that acclimation back into the sport, building off of the momentum that we have, but constantly looking for those opportunities to grow.
Okay, what would you say your team strengths are for this spring?
On the men's side, I think it's definitely the depth that we have as a team. We've got from 1 all the way to 14 the ability to play diverse lineups, to put strategic players into positions that will allow for them to excel. I also think, given the nature of our men's program, that they push each other so hard throughout practices that every practice is going to have that match simulation component to it, to where they're going to be out there grinding and pushing hard to make sure that they're improving in their skill set and getting mentally prepared for the competition ahead.
Okay, now going into our men's roster, we dove into the women's roster during the fall. If you can kind of break those down, your returners and your newcomers that you expect to make an impact.
So, obviously we've got everybody with the exception of Sam coming back that played in the fall. Sam's overseas in Ecuador this semester. So shout out to Sam. Hope you're having fun overseas. So there'll be some opportunities for us to definitely get some new players into the starting 6 in singles and some openings in the double slots as well. Certainly I look for Seth to continue with his strong senior leadership that he showed so far this year, and setting the tone for us when we get out there in matches. And I look to see some of our other juniors like Corey Evans and Colton to continue to step up and to set good examples. And for some of our younger first-year players like Dylan Lemons to continue, and Tucker Bradley to continue playing at the level they have to ensure that ongoing success.
Okay, so both teams compete on, it would be Saturday the 19th. We're resuming our matches that we had against Alma from the fall. This will be in Pendleton. Tell us about what your expectations of the Alma match to be.
So this will be a unique one, right? I've been coaching for a long time and cannot remember a time that we've had a resumed match that's sort of halfway in progress. So doubles is completed. So obviously, men, we're going to go into the singles matches up 2-1. Women, we're going to go into the singles matches up 3-0. So we at least have got some level of comfort that exists in knowing that we're entering those matches with an advantage. But for both teams, I think it's going to be a will of patience and a will of mental fortitude, knowing that nobody's really had tremendous access to be able to play outside or indoors because of the weather and other factors. So it's going to be probably a little bit of a sluggish match, but at the same time, I think it's one that if our players keep their mental poise, that they should be able to come out on top.
All right. And then going going into the rest of the season, is there any matches that you've got? Are there any specific matches you are looking forward to this spring?
Last year in conference, Transylvania, Hanover, Rose all had tremendous programs. I mean, it was clear that they were a step above where we're at. I'm interested to see how we perform against all three of those conference opponents. I'd love for us to be able to pick up at least one win against those schools and to put ourselves in a higher seed as we get ready for the conference tournament come early May. But those are three matches that we certainly look at from a conference perspective. And then the non-conference aspect, we played Bethel again this year. Lost them in a really close match last year. So I'm excited to see how we can rebound in that one and hopefully switch the tides over to the Ravens' directions.
All right. And then finally, what does your team need to do this year to be successful?
I think we got to continue with the motto that we always do, and that is how do we maximize our potential? So what are we doing day in and day out in practice to ensure that we're putting our best self forward from a technical perspective, a tactical perspective? What are we doing to stay physically active? And what are we doing to mentally prepare for the competitions that are going to come ahead? Tennis is a brutal season, just like many other sports are. And you've got to have a short memory to be able to continue in certain matches that you're playing, but even from match to match, you've got to have a short memory. So I think, all of that will be put onto the test, but I think our players are well prepared and I think we're going to come out ready to go.
All right. Well, I think I've covered the questions I wanted to. Ravens fans, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to follow along with any more season previews and any more content we may be putting out on YouTube. Of course, follow along with your Ravens as they compete against Alma on Saturday the 19th in Pendleton. You can, of course, go out to the match yourself and cheer them on. Coach Moore, thank you for joining us and good luck this spring.
Perfect. Thanks so much. Have a good one.